And welcome back to more A Hat in Time. Last time we finished up chapter 2 for real and started a very quick overview of Alpine Skyline. So this time we are finally finishing up chapter 1 with cheating the race. When legitimately, yeah, it is definitely not confident in our ability. The chapter description, I mean. And I think that is a good indication of why, because we are going up against a Mafia goon on a rocket who wants to race us for our timepiece. That seems fair, right? The path is marked in red, and the finish line is on the other side of the map. Anyway, let's go talk to him and see the details.
Haha! Rockets are fast, and if Mafia on rocket, Mafia is fast. Fastest man alive! Little child want to race fastest man alive? Mafia stole timepiece from HQ. If you win, Mafia give it to you. It is on! Mafia not sure Mafia survive this, but at least Mafia die as fastest man alive!
So yeah, the timepiece is just sitting out in the open. One, he gets a head start, so that's fair. And two, he's on rocket, so we have to cheat. You don't have to, but you are you are encouraged to cheat. Oddly enough, hence the name Cheating the Race. But there are ways to win legitimately, from what I recall. Those involved using the scooter and the grappling hook really well. I am not that good at this game, so we are definitely cheating at this race. And there you have it. That is our last main timepiece of Mafia Town. Piece cake. So, fun fact. This is actually something that kind of bothers me, because I know a lot of platformers do this, but like Super Mario 64 is a good example because you get the wing cap at like 10 stars, so you can easily do Whomp's Fortress and then go back to Bob-omb Battlefield. It's not that big of a deal, but like getting an end game item that is actually optional to do this is a little ridiculous. I mean, it's not like a huge deal, I'm nitpicking, I fully admit, but it is always something that kind of stood out to me as just a tad strange. So we're also going to do some cleanup here, and again, if I end up recollecting something that it had already shown, or if I don't show off something that I collected by accident, I do apologize in advance. Again, there was a bit of a recording mishap, so I had to actually replay the entire game to get back to this point, with most of the collectibles as they were, because this was the video where everything corrupted. So yeah. Needless to say, I needed to try to maintain, like, I couldn't just not show all the collectibles. That would be just kind of weird. There wouldn't be anything to show in this video for starters. By the way, there is an achievement for using the tallest slide. Very specific achievement, but there you go. Also a piece of brewing yarn if you want the brewing hat way earlier. And we're not going to do a ton of exploration at the moment. By the way, there's actually one little secret. If you pick this up, you can set this on the Switch to actually get the secret chest with a Rift token. I don't think that's a relic, that might just be a Rift token. Oh well. They're all going to be Rift tokens from here on out anyway, but if it was a relic, it'd actually be kind of handy. So we have our last Purple Time Rift of, well, actually our only Purple Time Rift of Chapter 1, and unfortunately this is actually the first one, so we're doing this massively out of order. That's the word I'm looking for. The Mafia goon by the next floor entrance, we'll give you the lowdown if you are doing this one first, but we're not. So, here we go. Now, technically I could have done this earlier, because, like, story-wise, we tap out on the story by the end of Act 4, where we fight the Mafia boss, so technically, from a story standpoint, I could have done it then, but just from the standpoint of consistency, I figured I might as well just wait and show the time rift at the very end, since I'd be doing that for all the rest of the chapters too. So, the goons have rift pawns, so we have to actually defeat them. This is just not a good way to defeat them. Now that we have the Fast Hatter badge, chucking potions at these guys is actually really efficient because they don't go into like their invincibility, and also it does more damage than just attacking them. So definitely consider just chucking potions using the brewing hat. Also, I'm pretty sure there's another thing over here. There we go. 4. I know exactly where the last 2 are, so that makes my life so much easier. This is actually kind of weird that this is so easy for me, considering Chapter 2s I always struggle with, and Chapter 3s I don't really have a problem with in terms of the storybook pages. It's just Chapter 2 that I can't remember where they are. Chapter 4 is extremely ingrained in my mind because those are really hard to find. So on a blind run, I mean. So I've actually kind of unintentionally committed them to memory just because of having to hunt them down. I can never forget where some of those are. But yeah, Chapter 2 is the only one I have a problem with in terms of the comic pages. And then yeah, I know I keep going back and forth between story pages and comic pages. I think I've seen both as names on different sources, so I'm a little bit jumbled up as a result. So just get all the rift pawns, dodge the goons. Again, you should have more than enough. And there you have it. Way more than enough. 2 extra for the end of the road, and we got our last page. So, let's see what the story is all about. Once we break the, thingamajig, of course. What is this even supposed to be, anyway? I'm not entirely sure, but hey, we got a timepiece, so I'm not gonna ask too many questions here. This is actually a pretty innocuous one compared to some of them. So basically they were working at a fish factory, looks like. They were not enjoying the job, so they sailed away and settled in Mafia Town and claimed the town as their own. So yeah, this is a less dramatic story than some of the others. Meh. Wow, I should have taken the first thing. So how many things do we have? I don't even remember. But yeah, we're just gonna explore a little bit because we have time, and there's a lot we can actually do now, because when we first went to do some collecting, we didn't have the ice hat or the hook shot. I always want to call it a grappling hook, but it's a hook shot. So we can actually do a lot of cleanup here that we couldn't actually do before. And I think I know where everything roughly is, so this shouldn't be too big of a problem. Hopefully, this shouldn't take too long. So right off the bat, I got the rift token up there, right? I did. I think. Can't tell if that's open or not, so I'm just gonna double check. Yep, that's open. Okay, so bounce over here. You got a piece of yarn. In case you still need any for the time hat. Did not mean to fall there. Mafia is quality. If you say otherwise, you lie. Good slogan. AAA. Or A+ is what I meant to say. AAA is something a little bit different, I think. there's a piece of yarn here, and hilariously, looking back, because again, I had to actually reference all the previous parts in order to figure out where all the collectibles were that I had collected. Yeah, I kept running by this one, and it actually was kind of driving me nuts a little bit. I kept passing this one up. Unfortunately, the time stop hat doesn't affect them from, like using the time hat won't be fast enough to actually make it so they don't go into the angry state. It's just not fast enough, and programming, they immediately snap into that, so no chance of that happening. I'm not gonna buy any more badges for the duration. Actually, I am, because this one's actually not bad. Never mind. There are a couple places in Alpine Skyline where this will actually come in handy, so let's pick it up, but we're not gonna use it yet. Yeah, the charge attack isn't that helpful, the no fall damage isn't that helpful, and, you know, the one hit badge is detrimental, and the no voices is just kind of there. It's too expensive to really be practical. I kind of wish the no voices badge had been a lot cheaper. Again, it just, like, by the time you actually beat the game, or by the time you actually get enough pawns to even unlock that, you're gonna have most of the cutscenes done with. So it just kind of feels irrelevant, because you've already passed up most of the voice acting by the time you have that much money to spend. So right up here we have a Rift token. Pretty cool. Why don't I have the thing equipped? Okay, the thing is now equipped, so we can actually see where we're going. There's this one, which we kind of saw during the race, and that's actually all the relics. Now, is that everything here? Absolutely not, because again, the relic finder only shows you where relics are, which are the things necessary for the purple time rifts, and afterwards become rift tokens. So the relic finder only shows you a very small percentage of the collectibles in this game. That is a slight criticism I do have, but also it's not too big of a deal, because the game doesn't really reward you for collecting all the yarn anyway. You still get 100% if you just basically get all the timepieces, but don't get all the extra little goodies. So it's not too big of a deal, but it is slightly annoying, I guess, that you can't know where everything is. I would like if they do have more hats, and thus you're required to have more yarn. I would like if they changed it so you could also have like a yarn finder or a rift token finder. I think that would actually be really convenient. I'm not sure if they would do that, because again, it's not counted against you for not having all the yarn. But just, I think it'd be a nice little quality of life change that I would be totally down with seeing. But yeah, I'm actually struggling here to think if there's anything else in this particular variant. Oh shoot, I passed by something really easy to get. Again, seems to be happening a lot. So it's right over here. We have this crate. If you break it, you get a piece of yarn. So that's pretty cool. I don't think this one is special though. It's not. So yeah, that's a little quick collecting spree in Mafia Town. But there's so technically, well, actually I need to think, how many rift tokens do I have? Because is it really worthwhile at this point? Yeah, we have an even number, but there is a rift token under the ice panel in the Mafia's hideout. I might get that one. It won't take that long. I was wanting the color, but oh well. Yeah, we'll definitely still have time, so I might pick that up actually. I like how you could hear the Roomba. For some reason the voice was in this scene where it's not supposed to be. This hat's striped, but I don't really actually like the upgraded hat flares. I like the more basic ones because for some costumes, like, the color choices are a little weird for the stripes. Especially this one, like the stripes are yellow, and to me that's actually kind of weird because the only other yellow accents are on the gem for the cape. And that's a very small amount of yellow to base the stripes on. Just a weird nitpick. It's very minor. But yeah, that's kind of a recurring theme in this playthrough. It's like, I do have some slight issues, but they're all extremely, extremely small, slightly petty issues. So yeah, I do really like this game though. No mistaking that. That's probably the wrong expression, but oh well. What I mean is, yeah, the game does have issues, but nothing detracts too much. Again, I just nitpick games, and I don't think that's a bad thing, per se, because honestly, every game is gonna have a couple little things, but if you're like, this one little thing kind of bugs me, then they can change it for the future, they can patch it, they can fix it when they do a sequel, if they do a sequel, because it took them 5.5 years to make this game, so I'm not quite sure when they do another one, to be blunt. A lot of passion went into this though, and that's undeniable to me. I like the level 3 sprint hat, but not the level 3 regular hat. It's a little too flourishy, I think. It's not bad, actually. Oh well, let's actually go with that, since we have it. We have all the red masks, except for the ice hat. That's actually interesting, I didn't notice that. Also brewing. I don't remember what if there are even any more for the brewing hat. But anyway, enough stalling. Yeah, this one's just kind of creepy actually. So let's go back to the little cute mask. Down we go. Ow. We got a little secret poker room with a relic. So the map is gonna go haywire, and you're gonna be like, where the heck is it? And it's like under the floor. So it's actually kind of tricky. It took me a while to find that one on my first couple playthroughs. And then it was so hard to find, it kind of stuck in my mind, obviously. But yeah, I think we're gonna call it here, and next time we will officially begin Alpine Skyline, starting with probably the old windmill. So thank you for watching, and I hope you join me next time for more Hat in Time.